This is Mo Bashir for the Hook. Delighted to be joined by heavyweight Richard Torrez Jr. Richard, firstly, thanks so much for your time. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you for being here. This is an incredible opportunity, and I think it would be a lot less fun if there weren't so many reporters here. So I really appreciate you guys coming out, man.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's an incredible event to be part of. But before I ask you about the event, I wanted to ask you a couple of things that I've come across when I've researched into doing this interview. And you said that if you hadn't have if you'd won a gold medal, you would have stopped boxing there and then. Do you mind explaining a little bit as to what your rationale was behind that?
My goal and my love has always been about the sport. It hasn't been about money. And growing up, you always learn and you hear about these rumors that the professionals, it's really hard. It's a shady business. People are in it for the money. They're cutthroat, and it's true to an extent. And I'm a firm believer that the Olympics is the pinnacle of sport, and so I think that if I would have won gold, I don't know if I would have had that drive anymore, because I would have thought I accomplished what I needed to accomplish. And then that would have been hard for me to go in the pros and really try to make a difference. Because I got silver and because I didn't obtain that goal yet, I still feel like I need to show people and prove to myself that I could be on the top. And what better way to do that now than being in the pros?
Your route is quite unique because I guess a lot of fighters that I've interviewed, boxing is their life, and of course it is your life as well. But I read that you went to college, you was in the chess club, you did so many different things. Did that help you with the boxing?
Yeah, I think that boxing has helped me with life, and life has helped me with boxing. And the things I do, I really have found that there is a crossover in almost everything. In chess, the way that you move and the lines of chess really mimic some of the lines you could take in boxing, of like the different combinations you could have and do things. I take dance classes when I was in college, and being able to utilize just that footwork and stuff, I could do some of those twinkle toes in boxing as well. In boxing, just have that tenacity and knowing that grit and that prolonged gratification is something that I take with me into life. And knowing that like no matter what's gonna happen, someone's gonna punch you in the face and could change up the game plan is something I could take into life as well. I think that it's a great crossover to have. And while I am a boxer and that is what I do and a big part of who I am, I think being a boxer really allows just the personality to show as well.
Your father was a fighter as well, I read. Was that something that you leaned upon with advice when you needed help with certain things? What was that like?
Oh yeah, being able to have your dad as a coach, it's a blessing and a curse. Like you really. My dad was 4th and 5th in the world in 2 different weight classes in the amateur division. He's the one that instilled the Olympic dream in me as well, and he's the reason I even box. My dad made it to where I had to box until I was 16, and then I got to choose from there. And I always wanted to be just like him. And so he really instilled that dream in me, and I still aspire to be the type of man he is.
Growing up, you said obviously the Olympics was a big part of your goal, and you said you'd stop at gold. Did you give much thought to being in the professional ranks, or was it just the Olympics for you growing up? Like, did you have dreams of becoming world champion, or was it I want to get to the Olympics and then see what happens from there?
It was always the Olympics, man. It really was. I never once thought about any of the belts or being a pro or professional at all. I thought what was going to happen is I was going to go and be just like my dad. I would go to the Olympics, maybe the Olympic trials, and then I would go back to college, become a teacher or engineer or something like that. And it just turned out that I continued to win and continue to be successful, and it brought me to this point. And so it's been a blessing, man. But yeah, that's a great question, man. I really and people don't really know that, man. I never thought of turning pro. I never really did. I never really thought of turning pro. And after the Olympics, it was like, what now? It was like, do I go back to college? Do I go to the pro and stuff like that? And then it just turned out that turning professional was going to be, I'd be able to help out my family a little bit. I'd be able to be financially secure for a little bit. And I took that route instead.
Okay, so you finished the Olympics. Your father has given you the advice. Maybe he's taking you to where he feels he can take you. I guess you're inundated with offers, right? Because you're a Olympic silver medalist. You're getting offers from promoters, from that. How do you decide which offer to take? Because I think you're with Top Rank now. Was Top Rank the first offer that came through? Were there any other promoters? How did you decide which offer to take when you first turned pro?
I've had a couple of different promoters. There was almost every promoter came up to me and gave me an offer. can't lie, a bit like I went with Top Rank because Top Rank at the time had ESPN, and I thought that ESPN was one of the best ways to get my name out there. Being on a network TV that was going to be all over the bars and all over the areas in the USA. I was like, okay, this is going to be something that I could work with. And then ESPN also, I mean, Top Rank also they offered me the most money. They gave me a great signing deal and a signing bonus, and I was forever grateful for that. And while like there were some competitive offers, I think that the being able to be in Top Rank, who had been known in the USA to build some legendary fighters like the Mayweathers and Pacquiao's, these other guys. A lot of these guys all started with Top Rank. That was the reason I had signed, and they were building me pretty well.
You mentioned ESPN. That was a platform that you wanted to fight on. Obviously, times have changed. We've gone from linear to now streaming platforms on the zone. Did you fight on ESPN? Did you manage to live that dream? And then what was it like, going from ESPN to the zone?
Well, this is actually my first fight with the zone. So yeah, so I'm excited for it. And this is how all the zone fights are, man. This is a crazy experience, man. I'm excited for it even more. But yes, ESPN. I was able to get on like Sports Center, like top 10 a couple of times. I was able to be on like ESPN ringside space. ESPN even reposted me a couple of times. That kind of like made those little kid dreams come true. Where I could be like the da-na-na, and I was super excited for that. And to be able to come from that stage over here is just is really cool, and it's a blessing because now I'm in the presence of His Excellency, and he knows who I am. And Eddie Hearns was just walking through, and he's like, "Hey Richard, how you doing?" Oscar De La Hoya like messaged me saying, "Hey Richard, good luck." Like, they know my name. That's the craziest thing to me. Like, people always like want to be like, "Yeah, too cool" and stuff like that. I can't believe some of these guys know my name. Like it's incredible. Like, we got an Olympic gold medalist. I'm a silver medalist, I guess. I forget about that. And then His Excellency, one of like the top guys in the world, know who I am. What are we even doing, man? This is crazy. I just punch people for a living. So it's amazing, and I'm forever grateful and blessed.
It's quite interesting you say that because a lot of fighters maybe lose track of all the accolades that they get. Eddie Hearn knows me, or Turkey knows me. But the fact that I guess you can live in the present moment and reflect on the fact that, oh wow, like these people know me now, not when you're retired 10, 20 years down the line. The fact that you can know it now is quite, I guess, it shows a humbleness.
Oh man, I appreciate that. But I mean, is it hard not to just really just understand? Like, we are at the pyramids. I'm looking right here, and we're backstage at a pyramid event. Can you believe that? At the pyramids of Giza, like, you and me just right now are on a red carpet talking about boxing outside the pyramids in a once in a lifetime event that may never happen again. This is surreal, not just for me, but for you, for everybody here, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. It's crazy.
Before I talk to you about this event, because I think you've done a lot of interviews, so I want to wrap it up. Guido Vianello, that was a fight that I guess really put you onto the world stage, because Guido's been in with the likes of Arslanbek Makhmudov. Going in and beating Vianello, what do you think it showed to the rest of the world that you're about?
I think it just solidified my position a little bit, of like the top 10 fighters, and I'm grateful for that, and it also just like it proved to myself that I'm supposed to be here. Because Guido was a great fighter. He was a fellow Olympian of mine in the 2016 Olympics, and just him being able to us having that fight, it really just showed that, oh wow, I am supposed to be here. Because you always have that imposter syndrome. As much as you want to say you don't, like, there's always that like, man, I'm a main event. Should I really be here? It's like I'm an Olympic medalist. I'm in the finals. Like, should I be here? And to be able to get over that and look back and be like, yes, this is who I am as a person, and be confident in my abilities is something I think that Guido fight really helped me learn.
Do you work with a sports psychologist?
I do. Yeah, I do. I work with the UFC sports psychologist, Micah and Heather, actually.
How important is that? Because a lot of fighters train their body, but they don't train their mind. How important is it to train your mind?
I think it's a crucial thing right now, especially when you get to this level of just like a game of inches, a game of centimeters. I think just being able to stay focused and stay in the present and in the moment right now is something that's almost a cheat code. And I'm very grateful for what they do for me and how they help me just stay focused and ready to fight, because at this stage you really need it.
Fine, and we'll talk about this main event. You're going to be fighting in front of the pyramids against Frank Sanchez. Firstly, the opponent in Frank Sanchez, he's Cuban, he's schooled, he's I guess he's really slick, but he's been found out a couple of times. Just how did you prepare for that fight with Frank Sanchez?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know, I think we. That's who?
Andy Lee.
No, that's Andy Lee.
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. You know, I think what I do best is and one of my best strengths is my conditioning, and that's where I'm the game changer at. Is I'm the most conditioned, and I firmly believe it, and I'll stand by that. That I'm the most conditioned heavyweight there is right now, or maybe ever has been. Is I will get out there and I will take you to hell and back, and that's something I do to a T. I can do it to you in 3 rounds. I can do it to you in 10 rounds. I'll do it to you in 12 rounds, and that's something that I'm ready for and I'm excited to do is just showcase my conditioning and showcase how hard I've trained in practice.
Finally, there's some good, things that can come out of this fight. I think it's the IBF title eliminator, and Usyk holds the belt. So I guess you become mandatory for Alexander Usyk. We'll talk about the main event, Usyk against Rico Verhoeven. How do you see that event playing out, and do you envision yourself fighting Alexander Usyk?
You know, I never envision myself fighting anybody. I really am a firm believer I don't have any enemies, you know, and so I'm not looking for anybody or saying I have a rival or anything like that. If it comes to fruition one day, maybe, but like I love boxing. I love the sport. I love the competition. I just want to be the best fighter I can be. And so, and I think that it would be a blessing to be able to fight a guy of the likes of Usyk, because in order to showcase your greatness, you have to have someone else to be able to showcase it against, especially in competition sport like boxing. And so to be able to just share the ring with someone of the likes of Usyk, not only would it be able to validate the hard work I've done, but able to be a great showcase for where I'm supposed to be.
Okay, Richard, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Say that again.